Hey y'all, welcome back to the Lady Layer.
Woo-hoo.
So I hope you guys had a great weekend. We had a lot going on. I don't know if y'all watched TV yesterday, but MAFS and Potomac was great. So yeah, this week we're gonna talk about, I said MAFS and Potomac, married at first sight.
Married to Madison.
Yeah, that thing. Married
Married to Madison and Potomac, but we're also going to talk about Married at First Sight.
Yeah, that's why I keep saying it. So yeah,
Right.
we starting off with MAFS today. And if you haven't been watching, that's okay, because we're not gonna talk about the whole season anyways. We just want to talk about these last couple of episodes and how trifling they've been, okay?
Baby.
They've been very trife, okay?
Yes. And if you guys were here for our previous episode, my voice is still gone, y'all, because I still been running my mouth. I was supposed to be on vocal rest, but I still been running my mouth. But I got me a little tea and some water.
I told her she needs to go and get her a little hot toddy, but she don't want to listen.
Yeah, I didn't want no hot toddy today, but I did make me some hot tea and all of that jazz. So hopefully I can get through it. But if I cough a little bit, just forgive me, okay?
Yes. All right, y'all. So this season is like unprecedented. Like, we got a couple on MAFS that swapped pretty much, like not intentionally, because not both sides swapped, but the husband and wives have cheated on their spouses and have gotten together.
Never in the history of Married at First Sight have we seen anything like this.
Yeah, it's crazy. And like, honestly, like at first I was rooting for the husband that did it, because I'm like, he been getting the shit end of the stick all season.
Right.
But after he wasn't taking any accountability, like he didn't feel nothing, I was like, that's kind of stank. Like, I don't know. It kind of made me look at David a little certain kind of way. So the people we're talking about is David and what's the other girl's name?
David and Michelle is one couple, and then the other couple is Alan and Madison.
Yeah, so
David and Madison decided to come together.
on this getaway, they magically realize, or Madison magically realizes that she is in love. Well, not in love. She likes David so much, and he has feelings for him, and she wants to pursue it.
It's all BS.
Right.
Because here's the thing, like, if you guys watch the season, you know that it seemed like from day one of the honeymoon was the first time they went to the gym together. He made a comment about how she looked. He liked, basically telling her he liked her body. Okay. They start going to the gym on the honeymoon, and they continue to go to the gym as they went back and lived together in the same building, because everybody lives in the same building, so they're working out. Michelle didn't know that they continued to work out. One day at dinner or at the table, he ends up mentioning, like, yeah, when I was working out with Madison today, she's like, you worked out with Madison today?
Right.
And so she was kind of finding out as the time went along that they were still hanging out, but she didn't know they were hanging out. She thought they were only working out.
I think she thought they were going out at night, because she
knew they went out that one time
with the other girl.
Yes, they never mentioned. We didn't even find out until this last episode that they went out multiple times. That though all those nights where she was coming back at 3-4 o'clock in the morning, she was with him.
Listen, I just feel like your man can't be having friends like this. Like, this was almost the demise of Cecil and Simone. Like, they be getting too close. Feelings, like,
but it sucks because I feel like this kind of ruins the experience of the show, because I feel like a good thing about Married at First Sight is that all the couples are on the journey together. So a lot of times we've seen in previous seasons where the husbands and the wives of other couples could talk to each other. They could kind of talk to each other and learn different things from each other as a group. So like, it wouldn't be a big deal for someone to have a conversation with someone else's husband about the experience or gain information or get advice from them. It wasn't a big deal. But now people can't trust that, because the integrity of the show is gone because people have decided to cross those boundaries. So I feel like it ruins the experience for everybody, because now everybody coming in is going to be skeptical about, why are you having coffee with my husband? I don't want you, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right. And it's crazy because Carla is the only one who was vocal about that. Everybody
Carla
else
and Ron.
They was like tiptoeing around it and like trying to like be empathetic or whatever. But Carla was like, yo, Carla and Juan was like, this is effed up. Like, y'all are starting on the wrong foot. Like,
and Juan was like, y'all gonna have trust issues.
Yeah. And Carla was like, how do I trust you? Like, you've been lying. You supposed to be my girl. She was opening up, telling you about her husband. Like, and then you go around and you catch feelings for him. Like, that's so weird. Like,
Carla was like, this is dirty. This is grimy. It's disgusting. I'm like, yes, Carla, tell her, because it's messed up. Now, I will say, like, me and Katrina was kind of talking about a little bit. Like, in the beginning, we were like, because they kind of breadcrumbed something that was going to happen with this whole situation. But in the beginning, Michelle gave David nothing. He tried a lot with her. He wanted to hang out with her. He wanted to spend time with her. He wanted to talk to her. And she just gave him a stiff arm every single time.
Right.
So we talked about it. We was kind of like, well, dang, what is he supposed to do? Like, he's trying and she's giving him nothing. But she didn't deserve this.
So look, I ain't going to go that far. I'm just gonna say he should have took some accountability. Like, he didn't even really have a conversation with her after she figured it out. It was kind of like, oh, well, now that's it. Yeah.
And he lied. My whole thing is like, okay, these things happen. Maybe you didn't plan for them to happen, but be honest with her. Like,
that's my thing.
Don't gaslight her the whole time. And that's why I say she didn't deserve that. Like, at least give her the truth, because at the end of the day, she don't care. And you don't want her. So it's like, put her cards on the table too. Like, girl, don't be acting like you was trying to be in this relationship or you was trying to be with me. Like, honestly feel like the proper thing to do, of course, would to have been to end the relationship and then pursue whatever he wanted to pursue off camera. Yeah. But I think because he basically kind of threw that whole I'm a man and I have needs type of situation,
which is like the scumbag excuse. like because we still talk about, oh, I'm a good guy. It's like, look, come on, we can't listen.
We had your back in the beginning,
right?
We was rooting for you because we understood. Like, I was like, dang, he's such a nice guy. Like, he's really trying. He's putting forth effort. Like, he's trying to plan dates with her, and she's still just being. Because let's just be honest, Michelle, she was not ready for this show.
But honestly, like, so now I feel like, was he really trying with her, or was he doing it to keep his image? Because the whole time he had feelings for Madison. So was it for us, or was it really to try to stay in this marriage? Because like he knew Alan and Madison wasn't clicking. So like, what is the point? The person you want to be with, you already know she's not staying married. So are you doing this so you continue to look like a good guy on TV? You get the sympathy card because she's not giving you any like anything. Like,
but she didn't know that. But that's so true. That is so true. That is very, very true. But she didn't know that. My thing with her was like, from day one, I think he was attracted to her. I think he did like her. But I think after now, the man didn't give her even a full week before he like started tripping. He was just like, she's not giving me anything. Like, she clearly doesn't like me. But I think also too,
because after the wedding, when she found out that he lived in the basement, she was done.
He dropped too many bombs at once. That's what I was about to say. Like, I feel like he just talked too much. Like, he was too honest. She couldn't handle it. She was overwhelmed. She's crying in the bathroom. She's like, my life is over. I just married a man who lives in his parents' basement.
My lifestyle.
Hey, girl, what lifestyle?
Yeah.
Like,
but okay, so this is how she broke it. So, and listen, this is why I still don't like Michelle, because I hate how she broke Alan's heart. And no, she didn't break Alan's heart technically,
but the way she brought it,
the way she went about revealing her theory, because this wasn't even at this time, right? And brought Alan in was terrible. Like, she goes around the house planting these seeds about Madison and how she feels like they're the ones who have been together. She doesn't think that is somebody else. She thinks it's Madison.
In my head,
Right. And she keeps saying it. She says it to all the girls first. Then she goes to Alan, who's Madison's husband. He's like in La La Land because he just spent $3,000 on clothes and he got hope. He just told her that he cared about her, everything. So he breaks. She goes to Alan and she's like, "Hey, Alan. So you know how David sent that text? Well, I think that he sent it to Madison, and you can literally see Alan's heart breaking on camera. Like it was terrible."
Yeah, because he was really trying to.
Right.
But he knew in the back of his mind, he was like, something is not clicking with her. Like, she didn't want to spend time with him. She always wanted to hang out with her friends. Like, he knew something was off, but he tried his hardest. The man called the dentist.
Right.
Okay? He started working out
everything
that she said that she didn't like. He literally immediately started working on it. He spent the money to get the clothes. Sorry, my nails broke. He spent the money to get the clothes. Called the dentist. He started going to the gym. Like, he even started going out. He doesn't like to go out. He was going out with her, trying to hang out with her. Like,
he was getting Invisalign.
Bless his little heart.
Yeah. That's a lesson for you men. If she don't like you, it don't matter what you do. It's never gonna work. Like, move on. If she don't like you, it's time to cut it.
Yep. And move on, because here's the thing I hate. Like with a guy like Alan. Now, Alan has some issues as well. Like, you know,
he wasn't perfect.
You know, have some alcohol issues there, but with a guy like Alan, his heart was broken so bad because of how hard he tried and how much effort he put in. This is going to ruin the next relationship for him. He's going to be so skeptical. And this is why we get men who are like good men who want to do well in relationships. Don't try anymore.
Yeah.
Because
women like that, too, in the relationship prior to that, she did him dirty too. I think she cheated on him or something else. Like
he needs to get more confident with his self and learn that you are enough and he's good enough. And he doesn't have to change himself for anybody, because that's the problem. He's getting with these women that want to change him.
Yeah, he definitely needs to soul search and find himself for sure.
Yeah.
So then after the retreat, they go and they meet up with Pastor Cal, and he is flabbergasted because this man been on the show since season 1, and he ain't never seen no foolishness like this.
On that phone, he said, "Now what happened?"
and
who and who?
Right. And David and Madison is sitting on this couch telling lies, talk about they ain't kissed, they ain't done nothing. And Pia, the sex therapist, is like, I'm not about to sit here and continue to listen to this BS.
Yeah, y'all right. Just sit here and lie in my face. But hold on real quick. Do you feel like with Michelle, was she more concerned with cracking the case, or was she really hurt by the situation?
I think she was more concerned with outing Madison. She don't like Madison because she knew Madison was David's type from jump. That's the reason why she suspected her.
I agree.
So I think she wanted to call out Madison because everybody liked Madison and Madison had no blemishes. And expose her. That's what it was about. Because she doesn't care about David. She doesn't want to be with him. That was never a thing. So
but I feel like in some of the conversations with the experts, she feels like she could have felt like, some of this was starting to make her look bad. Because, like you said, he always presented himself a certain way of him trying, and it looked like she wasn't trying because she wasn't. But I think at that point, once she found out something shifty was going on, she was like, oh, I'm going to make sure everybody knows he's a liar.
Right.
And she's not perfect because, like you said, that always bothered her, especially when like something went off in her brain when he was like, oh yeah, I worked out with Madison. And he tried to make it like fun. And she was like, you didn't tell me you were working out with her. Like,
right. And they probably had that conversation. Right. They probably already had a conversation about Madison, and she was like, oh, I don't want you to be around her or whatever.
Yeah. And he probably was like, girl, please.
That's bad, and you don't even know it.
Yeah, so they go back and they talking to the experts. Did David and first of all, why in the world would I'm going back to the other thing. Why in the world would Madison allow David to break the news to Alan?
Yeah, I don't know. Like Madison was ducked off. Like the whole time everything was going on, she was hiding in that little room. Michelle was trying to talk to her. She wasn't really trying to talk to her. And then she didn't eat, like, Alan was outside. I think, yeah, because David broke the news to Allison. To Alan. And then Alan left. He was so pissed off, punching cabinets and everything.
Tables and everything. Ooh.
Yeah, he was pissed.
And that man came back the next morning to get his seasonings.
Listen, he needs to find him a black girl, because the way he was seasoning the food, like, listen, he didn't just have salt and pepper. He had everything.
I said, oh, his food, I know his food is good. Because he came back to bag them seasonings up.
Right. He said, y'all bitches having bland food the rest of the weekend. F y'all. F y'all, go to the store. Y'all ain't eating on my dime.
Okay. Okay. Oh God. Oh, I felt my heart just broke for Alan. I'm just like, and then here Emem, come on, just come on.
Hey, Loki, when I first saw the season, I thought Emem and him was messing around, because like when they did it, it was like so ominous, and I'm like, why she hugging on that man that's not her husband?
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah,
we gotta talk about them too, honey.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys have heard of Emem and Ikechi. Like, that is Hot Mess Express. Like,
the way he walked into, he is dramatic. First of all, he is a drama king. Okay,
yeah, I think they need a little backstory for, if they haven't seen it, about Ikechi and his gaslighting and his just, like, he is the worst of the worst. Like,
give us a synopsis.
Like, this man, so they went on a honeymoon. So this is my theory. So they went on a honeymoon. Everything was good when he thought that he was above her. But then when they come back from the honeymoon and they see houses, like, he keeps making remarks like, dang, your house is so big, mine could fit in. And then, dang this, and oh, you so successful, and la, 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 la. Like, just showing his insecurity. Right. He's showing his insecurity. So from that moment on, anything that she did to him was an issue. So they're in a relationship, married, and he's like, oh, she's too aggressive. She tried to kiss me or whatever. She tried to be affectionate to him and he wasn't feeling it. Right. Fine. If you need to take a step back, that's the conversation that you have with your wife, and you guys move on. You set boundaries and you move on. You work against it.
Right.
You never let it go. Like,
we also saw him flirt with her on camera too.
Right. Like, he was the gaslighter. Like, he would do stuff and everything would be good, but when she would do it, it would be a problem. Right. When she voiced her opinion, she was aggressive, or she didn't listen, or she demeaned him. Like, child, he
irked every last one of my
right. So Ikechi decides that after all this time, after he's the one who said they was going to work it out, and goes to Houston and doesn't call her or communicate at all, even though he said he was going to call her every day and that he was going to really make an effort to keep the relationship. He does none of this. Right. He comes back to Houston. They don't see each other. She goes on the retreat. He decides to pop up on the retreat with a 1-page divorce document that doesn't even have the signature page. Right. It doesn't even have the signature page. It doesn't have anything else that's a part of the divorce. And he's expected for Emem to sign these papers. And of course,
her educated self.
Right. She's a smart lady. She's like, I'm not signing these. I don't know what else the documents say. And there's not even a place for me to sign. Like,
it's not legally binding, hun.
Right. So she's like, if you want your divorce, I'll give it to you, but I need to see all the documents.
Right.
So he leaves upset because she doesn't do what he wants him to do. He's like a baby.
So dramatic. He's so dramatic. He came into the room and stood at the door like this.
With this nasty green manila envelope. Like, it's not even a manila envelope. No. It's a file folder.
Yes.
He stole that from work and brought it and put some divorce papers in it. Yes. So after that, after she denies him to sign the paperwork that night, they end up meeting up after the retreat with the what do they call it? The therapist, the experts.
Yeah, the experts.
Yeah. So they meet up with the experts, and Emem writes this letter about how he's embarrassing and how she don't wish nothing but bad for him. She went in on him
all the way in. I was like, yeah.
And of course, he sat there and looked dumb and played victim and said, see, this is how she always is. Like, listen, she deserves to be like that because you are a dickhead. Okay.
And you hate that she could use her words well.
Right.
That's why you call her aggressive.
Listen.
Because she knows how to communicate and you don't. You shut down. Every time a tough conversation or he's confronted with the truth, he shuts down.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to walk
say
out.
Nothing. Anytime anybody holds him accountable, he shuts down. It's not even like her. When they had a dinner, a couple's dinner, and the couples just asked him, "Hey, we were surprised you were going to be here. How's things going? How was your night?" Like, not even questions about their relationship. And he's like, I don't want to talk about anything. I'm just here.
Right. Like, he didn't want to connect with the guys. He didn't want to connect with the couples. He didn't even want to ask the experts questions. He was cool with the experts until they confronted him with a real question as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he got some serious issues, and they really missed the mark with that one.
Right. So then, did they sign the papers that night? I know she agreed to the divorce. I can't remember if she actually signed. I think she brought divorce papers.
Yeah, she. I think she gave him, but they didn't sign them that night.
Yeah, but she brought her own divorce paper this time.
Did. Yeah, she was like legally binding.
Right. Have your divorce. This. The expert she's sad because she really wanted the marriage, but listen, you can't be married. You can't be with somebody that don't want to be with you.
Yeah, and it's really sad how he took a turn. Like, I don't even know if he was faking that he actually was even into her. And then he used that as an excuse to like get out of it. But the way he was just like putting tens on it, making it seem like she was assaulting him, basically.
Right. It's definitely given he didn't really like her like that.
Exactly. Yeah. Because even his face, like when she walked down the aisle, I feel like he was kind of like, he wasn't excited. Yeah. But I think he didn't want to look like a jerk. So he kind of was like playing it up.
Well, that backfired.
It sure did. Because she went right into it.
And the fact that he tried out for 2 seasons and this is how he acts when he finally gets on here is ridiculous.
Child, if that's not a red flag, I don't know what is.
Right.
Like, you moved here. I wonder if he still lives there.
I don't know. But another red flag is the fact that David is head over heels with Madison, and Madison is like, "Yeah, I just want to take it slow and keep getting to know each other."
Now, do you think Madison is just saying that because she doesn't want to look bad? Because here's the thing. She's the one who put it on Front Street that she was into him. She initiated the conversation.
Right.
I don't think that she thought that she was going to get, I don't know why, what is going on in her brain. But I don't think she thought that she was going to get this much backlash.
Yeah.
But once she saw what Carla had to say to her and the way the experts were looking at her, I think she dialed it back and was like, well, I'm not, clearly we're married and I don't want to jump into anything, but I'm really interested in getting to know him better. That's not what you said in the initial conversation.
Right. With him. When you two were alone, it was very much sounding like we about to be together forever.
I think she realized what she just did. She forgot that she wasn't on Love is Blind, girl. You're married legally.
Right.
So what you're confessing for another man while you're still married to another man, that's not a good look for you. Yeah. And I think once she took a step back and she realized, oh my gosh, this looks terrible. Oh, okay. And then production's so messy, but I love that they did this. When they started talking about what time she was going out at night and him simultaneously at the same time, I was like,
right. Especially the night when she was talking about, oh yeah, we went to get tacos. And Alan was like, yeah, she always eats tacos after sex. And then she goes in and later on is telling Alan, oh, we just went out and we went to my friend's house and got tacos.
You're dirty. You're so dirty.
Listen, if that don't make y'all interested in watching MAFS, y'all got problems, okay?
This season was a doozy. I will just say that. And it ain't over. It is not over. So,
nope.
We'll see. We'll see.
All right. Well, moving on to Potomac, a show y'all actually watch. So I don't know if y'all been looking on Instagram today or the past couple days, I should say. But apparently Karen has had 4, not 1, not 2, not 3, 4 DUIs.
Child.
I knew she had 1 before. I didn't know she had 4.
4.
Like, I don't know. Does this change you guys' opinion on like whether she should go to jail or not? Or y'all still like, man, just send her to rehab. Like, I feel like 4 times, like, you should have got it together. Like,
I think she needs to go. I think she
sit
needs
down
to
for a
go.
little bit. Even
Yeah.
if it's like 6 months. Because that's
Because
all the
here's the
prosecution
thing.
is asking for is 6 months. So go and sit down for 6 months. Take your wig off, grow your edges a little bit back, and get it together, girl.
I agree, because here's the thing. After 4 DUIs, first of all, they should have been took her. What is happening?
License.
They should have been took her license.
Mm-hmm.
That's 1. 2, you have enough resources to hire a car.
Right.
I don't understand why you're getting behind. You seriously have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
If you're getting behind the wheel, intoxicated that many times, and that's just the 4 times she got caught. Who knows how many other times to get caught with a DUI 4 times, you have a problem.
Right. Because listen, there are a lot of times that you have driven drunk and not gotten caught. Okay. And the fact that out of all those times, it was 4 times that you got, But I feel like she don't got no driver, because remember they were saying when she had a driver before, Ray thought that she was cheating on him with the driver.
Well, they said allegedly somebody was in the car when it happened, but why wouldn't the other person be driving? I don't know.
Maybe they was drunk too. Maybe that was her man.
Yeah,
but that would be a real crazy man. Like, if that's your man, girl,
left for dead.
Right, that needs to be the last time you saw him, because he don't like you like that.
Okay.
Like, that should have been the night that y'all broke it to Ray. Like, listen, we are a thing.
Left on the side of the road. Like, what?
Right.
It's sad. And you guys, they're supposed to her sentencing. When you guys are watching this, her sentencing will be tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
We'll see how it goes for Kern, but child.
And they're also talking about the rehab that she went to. But listen, I don't mind the fact that she went away to a resort, because I'm not paying for my own jail. If y'all want me to go and struggle, y'all need to pay for that. I'm going to go pay where I can sit down. They don't have alcohol, and I'll just be there for 30 days. Like,
child, they said there's a full service spa. You can come and go as you please.
Listen, I'm not paying for jail. I'm gonna get it for free. However long y'all sentence me, I'm not paying for that.
Right. I wonder if it's her first time going to rehab.
I don't think so. Because I think when she got this, well, supposedly when they talked about the second DUI, they said that she went to rehab in like Florida or something.
Mm. Yeah.
Wow. Child.
So let's jump into the actual reunion episode.
Mm-hmm.
So Kay talks about her and Greg's situation, how they're still together. And I just think it's interesting because the way that it ended, it was just like, should y'all be together?
Right. Well, she said they did separate.
She said they separated. She said that she got her own condo. I think she said she's in the process of purchasing the condo, or she has already purchased it. Yeah. But they also went ring shopping. So
I feel like they're going backwards. And I feel like if you guys just separated, are y'all really ready to get married? Like, why are we really having this conversation? Are you leaving the show? Because that's the
problem.
Right. That's the problem in you guys' relationship right now. Right. So are you willing to leave the show in order to save your relationship? Because like y'all gonna be separated next year too. Like if you still trying to be on the show, like it doesn't make sense.
And I think she knows that, because her purchasing this condo is like what do you call it? Like a backup plan.
Right. She's like premarital property. I mean, listen, honestly, it could be an investment property. They could rent it. Listen, I don't have no beef with that.
But I'm here for a premarital property. I'm here for that. She's a businesswoman first.
Right.
Listen, kudos to her. But it is odd because you weren't thinking about premarital property before. You guys were building the house together.
Right.
So, and then you were like, I don't really know about us living together. And it's like, if you can't live with your partner, like, should y'all be getting married? I don't know.
Right.
So,
and then I want to know, this is just me being nosy. So the house that they built is premarital property too. So how does that get divided?
Well, I don't know. Did she pull out of purchasing it with him? Is it really his?
She said that they lived together in it and it didn't work out. So she moved.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
That will be interesting to see how that paperwork looks.
Yeah. Because listen, that's premarital too. So y'all ain't common law. Y'all barely can't stay in the house together. So. Yeah. Be interesting.
That is true. So then we get into the conversation about Stacey's event.
Yeah.
And Wendy brings up the fact that Stacey said F Vivian, F that B to about Vivian, which it was the clothing designer. And I guess it was about the fact that Vivian put her in a dress that Ashley previously wore.
Yeah. But Vivian, she clapped back on the gram, and she said that she told Stacey that she made the dress for Ashley and that she wore it at a public event, and Stacey said that she still wanted the dress. She didn't care.
Exactly.
So do you believe Vivian or do you believe Stacey?
I believe Vivian, because what reason do Vivian have to lie?
Right. She
got a whole dress shop full of dresses for you to choose from. And if that's what you wanted.
Girl, and I don't like how Stacey was trying to act like she made Vivian relevant. Like, baby, I've been that girl before for you. And your little shitty dog show did not make me look good.
Right. And the ladies have been wearing her dresses on the show long before you got here.
Right. I wonder how much poop got on the dresses from all the dogs.
That was a literally SHIT show.
Right.
Excuse me, y'all. But yeah, everybody was shocked by Stacey's language and behavior. But
I don't know why.
Stacey proved that she could get shady with the shadiest of them.
And I feel like her little QVC act is a fraud. Like, that is not the real Stacey. Like, would a real Stacey please stand up?
Because her best friend even said, like, girl, this is not you.
Right. Who is this?
Who is this?
Like, I don't like that. Girl, next season they need to do her like Dorit. If you don't be your real self next season, you're not getting another contract.
Get out of here.
Like,
So then we get back onto the main topic of discussion of all the 3 episodes, Mia.
Right.
And so they get to talk about Mia and Ink again. So the question comes up of if we think that they really broke up. Now, do you think that Mia and Ink ever really broke up?
No. I'm with Giselle and Wendy. I don't think they broke up. I think that it looked bad on Mia's image, and she decided that they didn't want to be public. Because honestly, like, they've been together probably for this whole time that she's been on the show.
Yep.
It's only now that she needed a storyline that she thought, oh, well, let me bring him and it'll be interested. Like, I'm going to talk about how horrible. What's her husband's name?
Gordon
is. I was going to call him Greg. I'm gonna tell him how horrible Gordon is, and he's a bipolar person, and he's manic, and la 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 la. And then they'll be so happy for me that I found new love in Ink, even though you and your little girlfriend, whatever her best friend's name is, keep on talking about how y'all low key been messing with him off and on since high school.
Right.
So.
Yeah. No, I agree. Especially because Mia always talks about how they've been so off and on. So Ink has never gone anywhere, like you said. He's just been playing in the background. And they kind of talked about too, I think it's Giselle that brought it up, that I don't remember, but that this whole storyline was made up by Mia and everybody is basically in on it. Right. And unfortunately, the children have become collateral damage because now she's like kind of throwing stuff at the wall. Like the fact that she never talked in all these seasons, she's never talked about her older son.
Right.
All of a sudden,
keep bringing him up like his daddy.
Yeah. We getting a photo of him. We know where he lives in Atlanta now. You're talking about the paternity of your kids, when in fact you got freaking IVF. Like, I didn't even register to me. I didn't remember that she conceived him through IVF.
It's giving desperate. And then she's gonna say, well, I could have been pregnant when I got IVF. Like, no, girl, they wouldn't have gave it to you if you was already pregnant. Like, you sound stupid. Like, which now girl, I'm like, was it really IVF? Because how don't you know the process? Like, why are you even bringing up a stupid excuse that, oh, you could have been pregnant while you had IVF? Like, and she's like, well, the pregnancy test doesn't show up for so many.
Girl, they did a blood test. If you had HCG levels in your bloodstream, they would have detected it.
Right. It's crazy. I'm glad that they really held her accountable. And honestly, if she don't come back, I'm okay. I don't need to see her for the rest of the reunion.
I'm sick of her and her storyline with her best friend that is really her butt buddy, her man who ain't her man, who is her man and might be her man, and the baby's no, it's too much. And the fact that she has no boundaries with her children, I'm really glad that they called it out, because you are sacrificing your children for this show.
Mm-hmm.
And you think they ain't seen nothing. If they haven't seen it, they're going to see it soon. You cannot protect them forever. And just because you don't let your kids watch TV doesn't mean that their friends don't watch it. Or like they said, their friends, parents, anybody can have it anywhere on the TV. They could walk into the doctor's office and see it on the TV screen. You know what I'm saying? Like,
she's so selfish though. I don't think she cares. Like, even when they brought up when Jeremiah gets older and he sees this, she didn't care. She was like, well, I mean, it's life that happens.
She'll explain to him.
Right.
Just like she's got on TV talking about all the nasty things that she's done with all these different people. It's like, girl, you really don't care about your, just start saving your money for your kids' therapy.
Right.
And be prepared for them to possibly hate you, because especially her son that's in Atlanta that's older.
Mm-hmm.
What about him?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they were already in it, because she is a train wreck. Like,
I feel so bad for the 16-year-old, because I'm like, he's probably went all this time with people not knowing who his mother was.
Mm-hmm.
And there she goes, blasting his photo on national television for everybody to know who she is.
Yeah.
And he's in high school. Like, that is so terrible. So I'm really glad that they called her out. Like, as a mother, I would never, there's no amount of money that I would accept to do that to my children.
And they were right for calling her a bad mom. Like, in the beginning, we defended them when Giselle kind of implied it at the first episode. But no, you've shown us this season you are a bad mom.
Because these are decisions that you made.
Right.
You didn't have, nobody forced you.
Outed the whole fraternity that you knew was false. You thought your kids was kidnapped in Panama, yet you still wanted to stay and party. Like,
and only go to Atlanta after that.
Right. You still didn't rush to go see your kids, even though you knew they were safe. Like, listen, it's giving bad mother. Like, and girl, you got to live with that. Hopefully you learn from this and you do better.
Right. Mm-hmm. I agree, because it's just all a big old mess and it's unnecessary. And then of course she wants to storm off because the heat is too hot. Girl, you begged for that front chair.
Right. Bye, Felicia.
You wanted that front seat so bad that you was willing to throw everything about your family on air. So now you need to sit your butt in it.
Right. Sit your booty to the fire.
Okay.
And I want to say this because I'm very annoyed with them. Why y'all pump up that whole thing with Wendy hearing from her husband Eddie about the tea, and y'all just gonna have us lingering on to this next episode? Like,
I thought we was getting the tea this episode,
right? I just feel like next episode ain't gonna really be worth it. Like, we only gonna be talking about that for maybe 2 minutes. The men gonna come out. I don't even know what they're gonna be talking about, because it's only like 2 of them that's gonna be there. Ashley ain't got no man. Giselle ain't got no man. Gordon ain't coming. Wendy husband's gonna be there. TJ getting paid.
Greg, and what about Ashley defending little Jack Harlow?
Right.
It wasn't that deep.
No.
At all.
They talked about everybody, man. So, girl, shut up and sit down.
Please. Please. That was so annoying. But yeah, I don't know. Eddie better have some real juicy tea for us, because it better be the fact that she paid him, and it better be true.
Right. If she don't show, if he don't show TJ's bank records that show Stacey was paying him, listen, it's not tea for me. All she gonna say is, I never paid him. Oh my God.
Because TJ is looking for a moment, even though he is not there. Mm-hmm. So
because why would you call in if y'all not together?
Well, they called in, but
look. Why would you answer? But
if there's no receipts, I'm not interested.
Why would he answer? He's supposed to be there trying to save his house. Girl, you got other stuff to be worried about, okay?
I need
to save your house.
Receipts. So we'll see if we get those receipts next episode. Moving
on to another disappointment, because Married to Medicine played us too. Like, why are
they all the way played in our face? They played all the way.
Right. Why y'all gonna try to act like King and Greg was on the beach tussling and they ain't do nothing? they didn't even really kick up no dirt like that.
They didn't. They didn't even touch. They didn't even sweat on each other.
Listen, the way Quad ran down that beach, though. Listen,
my man.
Right. No, but the whole time, because they the way they drug it out, I was like, is she gonna make it? Oh my God. I was like, Lord, baby, no. I said, and then listen, that irks me when T was over there in King's Face. Like, girl, what are you gonna do?
Your man went that way. You need to go get your man.
Like, go get your husband. Like, what are you doing? Yeah,
that confused me too. Like, she's trying. You gonna fight King? Really?
Yeah.
You think he really is gonna fight you?
That whole thing was like weird to weirder. Like the whole prayer circle, speaking in tongues on the beach. Like
that about took me out. Phaedra, you was just over here cussing out, calling somebody a big back. Right. Now you over here calling out demons and praying in tongues.
Right.
Like, I get it because sometimes all you can do is pray in moments like that. Because T was visibly she was shaking. She was really upset. She would have been all right. But Phaedra had her hand to her belly and she was come out.
What's I can't even think of her name. What's her name?
Oh, Toya.
Yeah, Toya walked over there like, what is going on over here?
Toya walked over her drink and she was like, what is happening?
Right.
And then
but I agree with Simone. You go over here speaking in tongues, asking for the Lord to deliver T, but he ain't gonna deliver you from your issue with Apollo. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, you just had a moment literally 2 seconds ago where you was cussing this lady out and calling her everything but a child of God. And then you go over here. Listen, prayer works always.
Right.
However, like, that was a bit much. Like, I don't know. I don't
was
know.
That the show or was that for real?
I don't know. Maybe the Holy Spirit did tell her to pray at that moment because T was very visibly upset and she might have needed that prayer. I can't speak to it. I wasn't there, but she might have needed that prayer to calm her down because the girl was shaking.
Yeah.
However,
it was a mess. And can we talk? I mean, this is kind of a little bit off topic, but it's still talking about T. Can she not do a different? I feel like I see her every day with a new recording on somebody's podcast, some live. Like, she got more videos out than anybody. Like, it's crazy. Like, girl,
it's her current job. She has a podcast,
but she's on everybody else's too.
Oh, she's doing interviews. Well, that's kind of like what they're supposed to do. Like, on to be honest though, on this show, I don't see people doing a lot of interviews.
No, nobody really does them, but she's doing it with everybody. And she's talking about Toya needed her for a storyline, and it's just a bunch of nonsense.
Girl, like, you the one doing all the interviews. You the one that's looking desperate to stay relevant.
Right. And I need you to know Toya's position is solidified. It don't matter what you do.
She gonna be on there.
Like, this is not the Housewives. Like, Married to Medicine is what it is. These are the cast members.
They're solid.
Like, right. They don't have to act a fool to be on the show.
No, it is. They created the show. All of them, they're together. They're solid. But I think it's just a rookie thing, like with her just wanting to be seen, her wanting to prove herself and tell her story. And I actually, after seeing this episode, I get why she's making her presence so known, because she's embarrassed. And she wants to be able to speak her piece before other people speak their piece about her. And I think because she probably don't have a real voice in her relationship, and he probably is upset that she's doing all this stuff, because the way he be acting, I don't think he wants her to be on everybody's podcast talking like this. So
no, listen. So they heavily, right. So they heavily puts her foot in the mouth, because she goes on live like she does all the time, sitting in her closet, and she's talking about the whole situation, and how she's saying that straight men would have gone and done what they did. She said
King did. She's basically saying like King did what any straight real man would have done. Right. She's like gay men or soft men,
yeah,
that's weak.
They wouldn't have said nothing.
They wouldn't have said nothing. So the fact that she associated being soft and weak with gay men pissed a lot of people off.
Right. And so, yeah. I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know.
What
so, I mean, people was offended.
Yeah.
Listen, I get it. But honestly, like, sometimes it could be a little bit reaching too. I don't know. Give us your opinion.
Yeah, give us your opinion in the comments. But I feel like Heavenly puts her foot in her mouth a lot.
Yeah.
And I think it's ignorant to say that
real men are straight.
Someone's sexual preference does not make them a real man.
Right.
So and let's be honest, if you ever seen Bad Boys, Jonathan.
Oh, I know. Be tearing them up.
Jonathan can go toe to toe with any straight man. Okay.
Jonathan and the dude that be like, where the money reside? Where the money reside?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's a prime example because he's more feminine. What's his name? I forgot his name.
I can't think of his name either.
But he's a prime example because he's more feminine. But I think he played football in high school. Like when he fight like a dude.
Right.
And he ain't ducking no fades. So and there was a lot of gay men who came out online saying too, like a lot of times we have to defend our girlfriends, like friends that we're out with. Like
his name is Relly.
Yeah, really. Like they have to protect their friends. They have to do it. At the end of the day, they still men.
Right. Exactly. And they still got the same strength as any other man. And if they wanted to handle you, they will. So the whole real man thing was ridiculous. Huh?
I said, so run up on them if you want to.
Right. So that leads me to why now I'm kind of jumping. But when T and Greg was talking and she's like, oh, I'm combat trained and I would have fought him too. Like, girl, at the end of the day, that's a man. Like, she talking about she had to combat train against men and women. And then she also says in the same breath that she's never even been in a fight.
Like, but it's true. When you go into the military, there is no like, because think about it. If you're going into battle, they're not going to be like, oh, there's a woman, let me fight her. Like, no, like, you have to be able to, just like female police officers can take down a 250-pound man.
Yeah.
You know,
that's true.
When you're trained for a certain way, that now they do have to teach them certain techniques how to take men down because men are generally stronger. And you know, they're bigger in stature and everything. But her training, what she's trying to say is, because of my training, I could take that nigga down if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Not based off his strength, but based off of her training. Now, did I think she should be charging King? Absolutely not. But for him to diminish her combat training, she could take you down if she wanted to because of her technique, not because based off of strength. And I think he thinking about, just like you said, like, you can't take down no man. Like, well, actually, I can.
So I get it. She is combat trained. I'm not going to discredit her training, but I just feel like a man, when his adrenaline is rushing and all of that stuff, like, I don't know if it would be the same thing as like somebody taking down somebody that's calm. Or like, you know, in like
they're trained to take down people who are not calm. They're trained to take down maniacs. Like, if thinking about, I'm sure it's the same for the military, but I'm thinking about a police officer, right? Or someone.
And remember, she was in the Air Force. Like, how much hand-to-hand combat are they doing in the Air Force?
I think they all get the same basic training. Now, I don't know. You're gonna have to Google that one. But I would think that they would have to get the same basic training.
Yeah, if you know anything about that, let us know. Because I don't know. But I'm just saying, like, I would think that the combat stuff would be a little bit lighter since they're like flying, you know?
Right.
But I could be wrong. Like, please educate me, because like, I don't know. I've always been taught you don't put your hands on a man. Because
I was just thinking about, like, I think his statement was ignorant because I think about, like, not her necessarily as military, but like, I think about female police officers and like training. If you have proper training, it doesn't matter how big or how strong the other person is, unless they have the same training as you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because they teach them certain techniques that it doesn't matter how big they are.
Yeah. So but how would you know? Like, I think that his message was good. I just don't like his delivery because I think that he's coming from a concerned husband. Like, if
you're not in combat, girl.
Right.
Like,
You don't know.
I agree with that.
You don't know who you're running up on. Like, and like you said, he could have, it could be his hobby to do military training. Like, people do the Navy SEAL stuff all the time. So you don't know what the person that you're trying to come up against have. And because you think that you big and bad and you have this training, you gonna meet your match. And then I gotta get crazy because you didn't went and done something that you could have just fell back from. Like, you know.
Right. I think, like you said, he didn't have to say. When I say he's ignorant in the fact that he's saying she's combat trained and then saying you're a woman was ignorant, because women are trained, that are combat trained, are trained to take down men as well. That's what I mean by that statement is ignorant. But I totally agree with you with the fact that, girl, you don't charge no man, period. Yeah. Like, that's not your place. Like, we're not in combat at the end of the day. And as a man, he doesn't need you to protect him. I think that's his main sentiment, is like,
and it's like 6 other men. If the fight needed to get broken up, they can do it. Like, why do you feel like you need to be over there trying to break up the fight?
Girl, it makes no sense for you to be going this way when your man is going that way. Because she wasn't concerned with him, to be honest. It looked like she was just wanting to fight. Because why is everybody over here calming you down and he over there walking by himself?
Right.
Go take on your man.
It didn't make sense at all. Yeah.
I think she kind of just goes nuts. Like, and I think maybe she was ready for Quad to pop off, but Quad was just like, girl, go get your man. Go get your man.
That's why she was running over there. Because I think she wanted it with Quad.
Yeah, she did. She wanted it with her with Quad. Like, girl, go get your man. I'm gonna get mine. You go get yours. Like,
she was 100% looking for a problem, because that's why she started with Heavenly, because she really didn't have to go at Heavenly like that. Like, it's not your business why she invited Apollo. That's not your man or your old work.
Right. Like, it has nothing to do with you. You need to focus on the fact that we are all here and your husband's ex is here.
Right.
Like, this is the weird part. Focus on your own situation.
Right. Yeah. So then the next day they all meet. Well, they start, I guess they're getting ready for their outing, and Heavenly and Simone have to sit down with Apollo and Sherin. So you're gonna have to explain this part, because honestly, I was in my phone. I wasn't paying attention.
So Phaedra left on her private jet with Check, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
And she basically says that she's done with the group and she don't got time for this mean girl drama and da 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 da. So then Simone and Heavenly sit down with Apollo and Sherin. They basically just apologize to them, letting them know, like, we didn't know this was gonna go down like this. Apollo mentions that Sheck texted him the night before and was like, last night, and was like, hey, I'm about to go to the strip club. I got a car for us. Like, nothing ever happened.
Right.
And so Sherin is like, I don't understand why she's acting like she doesn't know that this is that this is our friend. Like, it's weird, it's disrespectful, whatever. So that conversation was just not even a lot. They decided to leave after that.
Yeah.
So then they have their lemon squeeze. Well, no, not yet.
No, so, they go to the little bar thing and the cigar rolling.
Yeah, everybody goes to the little bar. And then Greg and T decide to go home. And so when they get home, they're talking about the situation. This is when they get into that conversation about combat, whatever. Yeah. Now, at the end of that conversation, they go upstairs, or Greg storms off. And this is my thing with T, though. Now, I'm not condoning anything that Greg does. But T it seems as though she does not know her man, or she doesn't respect his boundaries, I guess I would say. I don't know.
Yeah.
He seems to walk away from situations when he's getting upset. I don't understand why she feels the need to follow him every single time.
Right.
He storms upstairs. He's visibly upset. He storms upstairs and she storms right back up after him. And you know the cameras are still here. You know our mics are still on. And
telling him to shush.
And you want to engage in conversation with him and try to tell him to shush at the same time. Girl, he is upset. You've been with this man for 2 years at this point, I feel like. So you should know him well enough to know that when he's pissed off, leave him alone.
Right. And so, girl, turn off the mic and then he don't have to shush. They wasn't standing at the door with the microphone to the door. Y'all just talking into a microphone.
But there he goes, continue to talk down to her. And like, you know, I just don't like the way that he speaks to her. He speaks to her like she's a child. He blamed her for the whole situation. And he's like, it's all your fault. You know, and it just goes to further show like the things that Quad was saying. It validates, I would say, the things that Quad has said about him and like, you know, what she possibly had to deal with behind closed doors. Because even the fact that he knew that the cameras were still there and he still talked to her the way that he was talking to her, it's scary because it's like, how do you talk to her when the cameras are not here? And he's like, you need, basically like, girl, you better shut up and leave me alone because it's about to get active in here.
Yeah. And she commented and she was like that it definitely was like triggering because it reminded her of how he was with her. And honestly, it definitely reminds of when they was breaking up and he was like, you've been whatever since the day that I met you, and was like going off on her like that day. Like that was definitely like the same energy.
Yeah, he was like tearing her down. And so, but of course, T goes online because Quad has something to say about it. Heavenly has something to say about it and how, you know, it's really disheartening and like, feel however you want to feel about T, but she didn't deserve that. And Quad, like you said, is bringing up old memories for her, and she sends love to her, whatever. And T is basically like, because everybody's like, oh, he must be an abuser, da da da. She's like, my husband is not an abuser. You know, she goes on to defend him. Of course, that's her husband. She was trying to protect him on camera by telling him to be quiet. The cameras can hear you. But it seems like she can hold her own with him. Like she didn't seem afraid to like confront him on anything. So I don't know, but it is sad that she accepts this as normal behavior. And this is what she's willing to put up with.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe that's what she feels like you have to accept with an older man.
She said it is. She was like, this is my relationship and it is what it is. So that's what it seems like. She's just accepted that this is his way of operating and this is her life now. Because she was like, it is what it is. That's what she said at the end of her statement.
And she trying to get to the money.
As long as she can get up in her pocket, she got access to the fund.
Right.
All she cares about.
Because on Bravo, that's all she kept saying is getting access to the money. So I feel like that's
t-shirt. She made a whole t-shirt about it.
Like I feel like that's more important to her than respect.
And how much funds are you getting? Because you still ain't redecorated that house.
Right. Yeah, the house is definitely still giving 90s.
It's very
early 2000s.
It's very dated, but she probably like it. I don't know. So then we get to the lemon squeeze and they start to talk about the things that have happened in the group and basically asking the question of should exes be allowed to stay in the group? Now,
and Heavenly is like, no.
Yeah, they like, no. Now, I think it's an interesting question, though, because the show is called Married to Medicine, right? So would Quad originally, would she have been invited on the show if she was not married to Dr. G?
No.
So
literally when the show first started, it was only doctors and doctors' wives.
So does he have just as much right to the show as she does?
So I think that's what the other psychologist was saying. I think that if they actually did the work to get through whatever trauma and issues that they had, that it would be good. But because they haven't, you have to choose one or the other. And I think because that Quad has been a part of the group consistently since the beginning, and they have the bond with her, I think that she has more seniority or more stake in the show than he does. Like it was easy for him to just leave. So I don't see why he's so pressed to be on it now.
Very true.
And I get why he's so pressed to be on it now. Sweet Tea wants to be on it now, so that's why he wants to be on it.
Right, because they mostly film the women, and the men come in for trips and events and stuff like that. So that's very true. And like, you know, she has the friendship with the girls, and it really is the women. It really is centered around the women.
Right. So because it's the women, Sweet Tea, it doesn't make sense. Especially last season because nobody knew her.
Right.
But they were mad at Quad. So that's why Toya was saying that they were mean girls, because y'all brought T on here to go at Quad. Yeah. Because y'all was mad at her.
Otherwise she would not have been there.
Right. But now that y'all good, y'all don't have the patience for Sweet Tea. Like, you know?
Yeah. That's messed up. So it's like you're just gonna dispose of her. Yeah, I think it's an interesting dynamic, and I agree with the psychologist. It's like, listen, if you can be here and be an adult, cool. But if you're going to disrupt the dynamic of the group constantly, then this might not be the best fit. Right. And I think T honestly has to get a hold of her emotions if she's going to be on a show like this. Right. Because she goes
She need a little anger management, honestly.
Yeah, she goes to 100 every single time.
Mm-hmm.
So this
Boo.
it might be too much for her. Honestly, it could just be too much for her. Like she needs a little bit more time to figure out how she wants to present.
She needs to focus on having a baby. All that stress ain't good anyway.
That's what I'm about to say. All that stress is not helping her situation, child.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Well, that's it for this episode. We hope you enjoyed. If you stayed this long, please like and leave us a comment. Like we asked y'all a gang of questions. Like answer one, you know.
And subscribe to our YouTube channel, please.
Subscribe. And do the bell notifications because you know we just randomly go live. So if you want to be on our live or you want to chit chat with us live, make sure you turn on your notifications so you know when we go live. All right, y'all. Good night.
Good night.